Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk GAR Grenadiers Baseball. Vito Pasone Jr., the head coach, joining us right now, will coach for you with the Grenadiers this year, getting some wins early. Of course, it's always a work in progress for every coach, and I'm sure the daily grind, you guys are trying to get out there and compete, and that's what you like to do, and hopefully all of us like to do a little bit of that in life itself. But let's talk about your Grenadiers this season, and I guess we could first start with a couple of your seniors that are trying to lead the way for you, whether it's defensively or offensively. Let's talk about the guys that are getting ready to graduate in just about 40 days here.
First off, John, I'd like to thank you for having me on your show. You do a great job in promoting high school sports, and really appreciate you taking the time to do what you do. First off, Jeremy Earhart and Gary Kroll are two of our seniors that we have currently on our team. Jeremy's been a two-year player for us. He fills the role of the DH. He's a big kid who swings a big stick and does a real nice job driving in runs for us. Gary Kroll is back on the team after a 2-year hiatus running track. He's come back to one of his favorite sports here for his senior year, and has done a real nice job for Coach Clem and myself, filling a hole at shortstop when Austin Yellen is pitching or playing first base for us, and is doing some nice things both in the field and offensively.
Let's take us through some of those juniors on your squad, and I know you kind of have a blue-collar mentality as a coach, and I think you got a lot of that as players there at GAR. Not much has changed at the Grand Army of the Republic.
Well, that's true. I mean, our kids work very hard. They've been buying into what Coach Matt Clem and myself have been promoting and talking about for the last 4 years. We're in our 5th year in the program, and guys like Austin Yellen and Chris Colativa and Noah Edwards have been doing a good job in buying it. Robbie Schinel, again, he's our mainstay behind the dish. Does a real nice job behind the plate, blocking balls, putting it out there. He's our leadoff hitter. He's gutty. He's gritty. And that's really the mentality. That's how we get things done on the mound. Chris Colativa is kind of the same way. Just works real hard. Keeping the ball down in the zone, throwing strikes. Noah Edwards, same thing, playing defense at third base. Not afraid to take a ball off the chest and do what he needs to do to get the job done. That's kind of our mentality. That's the way we do things. And we've worked really hard in trying to create a winning tradition at GAR. I know the wins haven't been so often for us, but we've been in a lot of close ball games over the last couple of years that we're learning how to win, and it's starting to pay off for us this year.
Hey, Coach, your sophomore class, you have a couple of guys that could play the infield and a few guys that could play the outfield, so a bright future for the program there at GAR with some guys that have some talent.
Right. The other junior I forgot to mention was Ben Marte, who, again, as an outfielder, he's played center, he's played right, and now he's playing left first, and he feels really comfortable out there. Benny's a guy who bats second for us in the lineup, strikes the ball really well, is a threat on the bases with his speed. And again, he covers a lot of ground in the outfield, along with Ronald Peguero, who's a sophomore, and Gerson Peralta, who is a sophomore. Gerson and Simon Peter were up as freshmen last year, and Gerson really grew into a real good player for us at the end of the year. He and Benny did a lot of nice things out in the outfield last year, and they've kind of picked it up where they left off last year, and have now started working hard, and they're taking it to the next level. And Ronald's done a really nice job in solidifying the center field position, where it's really tough to get into the gaps on us because we have so much speed in the outfield. And Simon Peter, who again is that last sophomore, he really holds down the middle of the infield. He's a real headsy kid. He knows what to do. He'll make those difficult plays. He'll make the routine plays. Got a strong arm, and he's really doing a nice job for us at the bat as well. He's batting down in the lineup, and again, the way that we kind of set our lineup is we try not to get too predictable, but we're hitting the ball very well up and down our lineup. And Simon's anchor in the bottom of the lineup with Gerson batting seventh and Simon batting eighth. They're really doing a nice job getting on base, and Simon's done a nice job driving in runs down at the bottom of the lineup.
And you mentioned having that balance, if you could, up and down that lineup. And I know you hit on it a couple of minutes ago when you talked about that goal we have as a team is to be able to finish games. And how many of those one-run games, you want to be on the right end of those 4-3, those 7-6 games. And there's been some monster games where there's been a lot of runs last year. And then you guys, respond and the other team responds. So you want to be the last team finishing this stuff.
Absolutely. And the one thing that, again, early on here in the season, our first two games when we played Northwest and we played Myers, our crosstown rival. And again, it's not to take anything away from those two ball clubs. They're excellent ball clubs. But we did some things early in the game that put our team in a deficit. And in the Northwest game, it was just, in the second inning, for example, we gave up 7 unearned runs. Tough to come back from that. But what I was proud of with my kids is that and Coach Clem and I commented about this after the game with the kids. Not once did they get down. Years past, maybe a different story, but they were up the entire game, and we chipped away. We just couldn't overcome that hurdle. Myers' game, we gave up 4 runs early on. We battled back. We tied it up, and we lost it in extra innings. Again, 5-4, a 1-run game. But again, we played a really, really solid game. And then after that, going into SEM, and then when we played MMI, we put two games together with very good performances. Again, defensively, we had a couple of errors that could have hurt us, but they didn't. And I'm beginning to think, and I think that the kids are really beginning to think that we're starting to turn the corner here.
Well, nice to hear. I know the work ethic is there at GAR, and hope you get your goals this year, Coach. I know you guys have some nice goals, and hope you reach them, and continued hard work there for the Grenadiers.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate it. And again, thanks for all you do with high school sports. And we're gonna keep Grenadier pride going up on the hill, and hopefully we can make a nice run here in the 2016 baseball season.
All right, the GAR Grenadiers trying to be in every game they can. With Vito Pasone Jr., the head coach, here on the John Mendola Show, we are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.